And we're live. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, Omega Arts. Welcome to Awful Goodness, episode 19. Iron defeats elves. Cuomos play mafiosos. Shit in the tweet, not in the streets. I am your host, Midnight in Exile. And with me tonight is my co-host, Condoriez.
Hello.
Oh, there we go. And my other co-host, who is oddly enough on time tonight, Ibai Canales.
Hola. I have a perfectly valid excuse, which is I'm sick as a fucking dog, so I wasn't watching anything on TV. I was just lying on the sofa trying to survive. So, I have nothing better to do than lying in my bed next to the computer hanging out with you guys.
Well, I'm glad to know that getting an asshole exploding stomach virus is what it takes for you to show up to the show on time.
Yeah, it's weird, but that's how we roll in Spain.
I'll work on making sure that happens more often.
Yeah, just mail me some anthrax on an envelope or something.
I don't think anthrax is a stomach virus.
Who cares? I will eat it anyway.
So, what day is today? Tuesday?
Yeah, it's Tuesday, 30th. Well, it's already December 1 here in the beautiful Basque Country.
I've had a good couple of days at work. Nothing crazy going on. I am going to be switching my field work. I'm going to be working because there's not as much field work in the winter. So I'm going to be doing repair work in the shop, which is actually pretty interesting because there's some stuff in there that I've really wanted to learn how to repair for a while. Actually, some of it I've been wanting to learn how to repair for like 30 years. So I'm going to learn a couple of new skills over the next couple of weeks. Those will be interesting to apply. The whole idea being these skills are useful and, I'll be able to make money with them in the future. That's part of what the whole job I've got right now is about. What have you guys been up to?
Well, as I said, I've been trying not to puke too much and trying not to shit the entirety of my life force out of my anus. So yeah, it's been a lazy day for me. What about you, Jess?
Well, um, so this afternoon, as I was preparing to go out for a little bit, um, both of the cats decided to make a mad dash out the door and run about the place.
Fucking cats, man.
How did you punish them for their insolence?
I spanked their little asses. Also,
Okay.
three. Well, it was just the older kitten and the whore mom.
You should have
But
made
the
them watch Monday Matt.
right,
Yeah, I don't know if
the
that's
little.
Omega Art says, I thought I was the only one who is sick for eating rotten food. What did you eat? What did you eat,
Also,
Omega?
a kitten update. The little babies, three of them have their eyes open.
Oh,
Not bad.
And then also today I had to buy them a new shit box.
How much did that cost you?
About $36 in American dollars.
Omega Art says, at least I've been having a feast seeing the anti-CG SJWs rip each other's throats. Is this a new development? Do you know anything about this, Canales?
not really, since I'm not on Twitter.
I know about it. I got like a bunch of links. If you can post like the archive links to what you sent me, that'd be great. And then maybe you can come on and explain if we have the time.
Yeah, I'm morbidly curious now because I know about this guy who likes to be begged by his wife on X videos, and
if any of you have, Jez, if you have the links, you can drop them in the private chat. I'll try and get them into archive as we go. I think think I have an idea of how I can do that relatively quickly. Before the show, you know what I was watching?
What?
Kim Potter jury selection on Nick Recade's channel. Have you watched any? Do you remember what Kim Potter is all about?
No, I don't think I do.
Kim Potter is the cop who shot a guy with her gun, thinking that it was her taser.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
So they're in jury selection, and Rackets is hating every second of it because it is taking forever. Now, the jury is out. Ha 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 ha. See what I did there? On this judge. I'm gonna share a little bit of the judge. It doesn't really matter what's going on. See if you can get a read on this judge and tell me what you think of her.
All right.
I don't know what her name is. Judge Chu. Hey, what do you call a Chinese lesbian?
What?
Chu Manchu.
So incorrect. I like it.
All right, here we go.
Let's watch this shit.
Now, to make sure that both the defendant and the state receive a fair trial by an
All right, whoever's fucking mic is in this room, can you please learn to notch out a goddamn ring? Learn how to ring out your fucking mics, you losers. I don't know whose audio this is, but I guarantee you they're making more than I made today. Cocksuckers.
impartial jury, it's going to be necessary for me and the attorneys to ask you some questions. Remember that you will be under oath when you answer our
There's your ring.
questions,
Find
that
it and
you
notch
must
it,
answer
faggot.
truthfully. You know, this questioning is a very important part of the process. All of us hold personal beliefs and
What's your impression of this judge?
I don't like people who talk to other people like they were children.
Okay.
She sounds very wishy-washy. I don't know.
Does she sound wishy-washy to you?
No, I don't know the right word. I'm trying to think of it. It's
Bland.
Bland? You get bland?
yeah. And she's kind of like, oh wow, kind of like a hint of like condescension, I guess.
I do get condescension, but I don't necessarily like. I get it kind of as benevolent condescension. I mean, she is a judge. Think about who gets called in for jury duty, man. These people are dumb, and they need everything explained to them. Now, let's play a little bit more.
I fucking hated jury duty.
Have you actually sat on a jury?
Yes, it sucked.
How long did it last?
Like basically the whole day.
It was just a day.
Yeah, but still, it sucked ass.
I've gotten called in, but they never select me. I think that part of the reason they never selected me is because as an independent contractor, if like there's no paid time off when you're an independent contractor. You either work or you don't get paid. So I have a feeling that when I filled out my form saying independent contractor, they were like, oh, this guy's going to not be able to pay his fucking rent if we select him. So we won't select him. Omega Art says, right now I probably have like a dozen archives of that fight. All right. Well, this is going to get interesting.
Yeah, well, I posted the ones he gave me, which is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Let me see how many I got. I got 4. I'll get the 5th one right now. Couple here. Let's hear a little bit more of this judge.
Summoned for jury duty, but I don't know the end.
Shut up.
to tell you that I think you're going to like it. Right? I know it's difficult, it's inconvenient, and you're coming downtown and
Hey,
you're away from your normal activities, but
Well, at least they get a chill atmosphere down there at the court.
I mean, look, jokes about her being a retired Thai ladyboy aside, which I can make plenty of those. if those jokes are false, are based on falsehood, it's a woman who can control her emotions, who's calm. She thinks about what she's saying. I mean, this could be a good judge for this case.
Okay.
She has been instructing the jurors on, like, do you understand the difference between how you think things ought to be in our law, which is the exact fucking thing I had to explain to a probably 40, 50-year practicing lawyer 2 weeks ago.
Right. Yeah, no, you get a point, because at least she's breaking it down into terms that anybody can understand, and I appreciate that.
About her going ballistic and insane because she disagreed or disliked something he said. There's like 4 women in the world that's possible with.
Mr. Gray or Mr. Ng?
And look, she's a ninja.
Good afternoon, number
nice.
11.
The reason she's doing that is not out of COVID paranoia, but because it covers up her mouth when she talks into a comm set on like off channel, so that you can't lip read what she's saying. Which is, I think that's pretty clever. I've never seen a judge do that. So not that I watched cases or anything. So that's the Kim Potter trial. That's where we are with that. Jury selection is going to last about 7 years because everybody's slow as fuck and everybody's deciding that they want to tell their life story while they're being asked jury questions. I don't even want to play any of it because it's so... Midwesterners, learn how to get to the fucking point, please. Please learn how to get to the point. Please.
It wasn't
Please.
good. This happened in Kentucky. Kentucky isn't part of the Midwest.
Whatever. It's all the same fucking thing. You fly over states. See what I did there?
Hey, don't look at me. I'm an adoptive New Yorker.
Now I lost. Now I don't know how the fuck to get out of this window. Let's see what I can do here. Oh, look, there we go. That's nice. Very good. I did a good job. So that's what I was watching before this. I think there's a good chance. I don't know. What do you guys think about the liability on that shooting?
This is the one where she went to the wrong apartment and shot the guy thinking that he was a robber, right?
No. This is the one where she pulled the Glock instead of the taser.
Yeah, I think they were trying to make a guy vacate the vehicle, like they're trying to pull him out of a car.
Oh.
And she said something like, "I'm gonna tase you, bro," but instead of producing a taser, she produced her Glock, and she pointed the gun at him and pulled the trigger, and she killed him because it
And
was
then
a
she was
taser,
like,
and
"Oh,
then pistol.
fuck, that's not my taser." So it's like her mind was trying to do the right thing, but her hands did the wrong thing, is essentially what happened. Which, like, if you think about it, we make mistakes like that. I'm not justifying it. I'm just saying that you should be familiar with the process. We make mistakes like that all the time. You mean to turn the screwdriver left, you turn the screwdriver right. You mean to,
Yeah.
They said it. There was one guy in jury selection saying, well, it's like you know the difference between your gas pedal and your brake pedal. Well, yeah, you do. But people hit their gas instead of their brakes all the time. All the time. That's how a lot of accidents happen. Just the other day, I was pulling out of a parking lot, and I started my car, and I pulled it into drive instead of reverse.
Yeah, and I keep forgetting whether if I took out the sugar every morning to put in the coffee. Did I take it out? No, yeah.
So I'm not rationalizing it, but nobody should be pretending this is an unfamiliar type of mistake. Nobody should and nobody should be pretending that they don't make mistakes like this either.
Mm-hmm.
You do all the time. You just don't necessarily have a
blood
gun
on your hands.
Yeah. And I don't know that there should be a criminal conviction here. Because what part of her action was criminal?
I think it's more of a criminal negligence thing. That's a thing.
Man, do you really want I do agree that there's a negligence involved. I do. But I don't agree that it's criminal.
I mean, she should have known what she was doing. She's supposed to be trained to, like, be able to reduce suspects
I
with
don't
minimal
disagree.
damage.
I don't disagree, but that doesn't make it criminal.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I know next to zero about laws. Everybody knows that laws aren't a thing here in Spain. But I'm just thinking, like, you didn't do it on purpose, but you did end up killing someone as a result of your incompetence. So I don't know.
Yeah, I would think, in the least, she should probably be losing her job as a cop. I don't know, because you don't always lose your job as a cop when you kill someone accidentally.
Yeah.
I do think it was an accident. I think it was an accident, but I also think that there was negligence involved in that accident. Like, her training may not have been up to where it was supposed to be. There's some reason that she slipped like that, and I would like to know what that is. Because I'm going to be honest. Sometimes I've made mistakes at work that were the result of being hungover as shit. Or exhausted. I've made mistakes when I've been sleep deprived. Like, you're doing like 3 20-hour days in a row. That third 20-hour day, don't expect any of your fingers to be anything but thumbs.
No, absolutely. When I'm gonna quote myself in decimators and say that enough sleep deprivation will make you think bad ideas are good.
Yeah, absolutely. Good timing, Jez. Good timing. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep it up there. Yeah.
So, I haven't watched this yet. I guarantee you this fucking faggot's gonna copyright strike us, but we're gonna watch it anyway. I don't give a shit. Fuck this faggot. Gas the elves. This is the newest offering from Seth Rogen and HBO Max. Have you seen this? Have you heard of this?
I haven't.
Are we talking about the feminist Christmas movie that this fat fuck is trying to produce?
You mean this one?
Oh.
The last I heard about Seth Rogen was he was saying how his car got broken into like 15 times.
Oh, right.
Yeah, and that's a good thing because now somebody's happiness levels have increased.
Must be nice to be able to replace everything in your fucking car and your car. The reason people get upset about that shit is because they can't afford to replace it. Because unlike Seth Rogen, in order to buy, like, I don't know, a $400 car stereo, that's a week's salary to a lot of people.
Mm-hmm. Yet another case of let them eat cake, 2021.
Matzah. Let them eat matzah. Now let's tell them what they should do with their Christmas. All right, here we go.
When you're
Let me just fucking take these closed captions off.
a kid, there's only one day a year.
So this is, you guys know I'm sure you do, Jez. You know the Christmas stop motion movies.
Yep.
The with Heat Miser.
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer is my religion.
That doesn't surprise me. So this is stop motion. It's done. It's not 3D, and it's done in the same exact style. So clearly, he's trying to tap into the nostalgia for that property. I should rewatch those. I haven't rewatched them in a long time.
Year more special than any other day, and that day is Christmas. And we are the magic behind that day. So let's get these fucking kids some fucking presents.
So let's talk about my experience in theater. I spent a lot of time working in theater. A lot of time. I've done it since I was a teenager. I see Maniac Man 2030. Hey there, guys. Missed the Sunday stream, but I'm here today. Ended up helping a neighbor move as well. Pretty base guy. Very nice. You're always welcome to be here. You're always welcome to miss here, man.
Introduce him to our show. We need more viewers.
Mhm.
I'm happy with every single viewer that we have. I have no complaint about our number of viewers. I'm more than happy to take more viewers, but I don't feel the need to be mewish about it.
Let's just say that
I
our
see what you
viewership
did there.
is elitist. Like we don't have many viewers, but every viewer that we have is fucking awesome.
Yeah, our viewers actually are pretty good. I'm Mega and Maniac Man and
Yep.
Evil One. Like the dudes that come out and hang out with us are pretty good. Smart, not stupid. That's the thing. We have all smart people right now, and I want to keep that for as long as I can. When I was young in theater, there was I got involved in the improv world. Stay away from the improv world. It's faggot commie cancer, but it wasn't quite as bad when I did. And there was this one guy that everybody loved, but all he ever did, he had like 6 characters that he did, and he'd just do one of those characters. Like one that he liked to do actually that I appreciated was Albert Camus. Who wrote The Stranger. Yeah. And I like Camus. The Stranger is one of my favorite books. Thanks, Robert Smith.
You know, I need to introduce you to my dad so you can discuss matters of racism. And I need to introduce you to my mom so you can discuss literature with her because she's into Camus and all that shit.
Yeah, your mom has such a fucking worldly academic brain.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how you happened.
Right? I'm just a fat slob.
This guy was like, he could have been the most popular person in this group.
Canel's probably got all the recessive genes.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I have a twin brother somewhere who's a fucking Adonis.
Oh, wait a second. I should check my parentage. This guy's whole shtick was coming out as going out onto the stage as one of his 6 characters and saying fuck really loud. That was his only fucking joke. That was it. That was all he did, and it worked. It would, like, people would lose their shit laughing over this guy. And I just remember thinking, like, that's it. That's all it takes. That's all it fucking takes. There's no creativity. It's all pattern. It's all habit. It's all repetition. Just say fuck really loud. And
well,
that's
I think we can all remember that bit from Idiocracy, the movie Ass.
Yeah.
We're at the beginning of that stage in our culture.
And also, like, think of back in like grade school, the kid that would shout penis at the top of his lungs and everyone just died.
Yeah. That's what Rogan did with Sausage Party. It was just fucking anthropomorphic food swearing a lot. There really wasn't any humor in it. Maniac Man 2030 says, with what we discuss, I'm not sure how many y'all can afford to take for viewers. I know, like see, here's the thing. The more viewers we get, the more our show is in risk. So it's like the inverse of what it ought to be.
Yeah.
That's why I'm happy with our viewers, man.
May I present the hardest working man in snowbiz? Good golly, he's jolly. Our own Santa Claus!
Hey, Merry Christmas. Whoa. You're on my naughty list.
Wait, that's on YouTube. I better not get fucking struck for that.
Is it me, or does the animation look a bit shitty? Because I can think of The Nightmare Before Christmas, and I remember it looking much better than this. Like, much more fluid, you know?
It looks like it's like too clean and too sloppy at the same time.
I don't know. I mean, I'm just saying. I remember the Nightmare Before Christmas looking much better. Like, you know, more expressive, more. I don't know. It had more volume, more fluidity.
How much more do you think that guy was going to cost him?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Good news, sir. More American kids believe in you than they do in vaccines or the Holocaust.
That's great. I mean, disheartening for America, but great for us.
I'm here from the North Pole Times. Have you decided who will succeed you as Santa Claus?
Subtext, Santa's old and knocking on death's door. Fuck you.
Succeeded? Like, that's not how Santa works. There is no succession of Santa Claus. He doesn't retire. He's immortal.
He's a demigod, basically.
Yeah, he's exactly. He's a demigod. He's fucking. All right.
Good question. I'll give it some serious thought. Ha ha ho ho ho. Bye.
Okay, so who is doing the voice of this purple elf? I want to know.
I think it may be Sarah Silverman.
I was gonna guess that. So Santa's gonna be Rogan self-insert, and the elf is Silverman self-insert. Right? Is that what's going on?
That's what it looks like. Yeah.
Oh boy, clay titties, clay elf titties. They may be Kazar. Maniac Man set 2030 says, "I say if you just move along like you didn't see it, nobody watching later will notice." Too late. I fucked that. Jez ran off. Okay, she'll be back. Mew Jews are messing with her.
There have been many Santa Clauses throughout history.
No, there haven't.
No, that's not how it works.
So they added that on. Okay. Okay, they got that from the Santa Claus. They got that from the Tim Allen movie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a modern thing. Like, there isn't really a person behind the title. It's just the title, like Superman, like Batman. Like, it's a thing that they do now.
It's so that they could self-insert easier.
Mm-hmm.
If Superman is just the costume, then I can be Superman. Why can't I be Superman? I want to be Superman. That's all that.
Well, because you weren't born in Krypton and you didn't crash down on Earth when you were a baby, you fucking cunt. That's why.
They get it backwards when it comes to iconic characters. They insert themselves into the position when they're supposed to insert the character into themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Supposed to be like the character, not make the character like you.
Well, that's what happens when you're a sociopath. You can only empathize with people who are like superficially identical to you.
Jez says, "I think the llamas are fucking with the lines. This is not the work of the Mewish overlords. Don't believe that for a second. Everything's the work of the Mewish overlords."
Hello. Yes, the llamas are being instructed by the Mewish overlords.
They're in
Wait,
cahoots.
are there llamas outside your place right now?
No.
Oh, okay. Just
not at the
That
moment.
you can see.
Right. I'm just saying I could have imagined you saying yes. Let's continue.
Some were loved, others loathed. But the position of Santa has mostly been a white man's game.
Exactly.
For
That's because Nicholas was a Roman. There are two places you get Santa. You get him from Romans and you get him from Scandinavians. Those are your two options. Guess what? Both were white.
Actually, Nicholas was a Greek. That's why he's the patron saint of children.
He was from Constantinople or something like that, but I don't know. I can tell you that in Brussels, when I was a kid, Santa was called Saint Nicholas.
I mean, he is. That's because Santa is white. I mean, like, I have no problem with Black Santa. I like Black Santa. I've been to parties when I was a kid with Black Santa, and I thought it was great. But the mythical character is white. It's like fucking making Shaka Zulu white. It's retarded.
A white man's game.
Exactly. It's fucking crazy. Things have got to change.
My advice to you is, oh, if I die, get rid of my porn.
I want to be the next Santa.
What do you think the Elvish is hiding on his laptop?
Cheese pizza.
Yeah. So the chick wants to be the next Santa.
If this is your dream, you have to at least make your case, bitch.
You gotta get intimate with that jolly bitch.
So that she's making it all about herself means she's completely fucking incapable of understanding who and what Santa is. It's not about bringing joy to other people to her. It's about herself.
Yeah.
Which it often is with Elvish women.
That's why I like Orcish women better.
I know you're right, but do you really have to call me bitch every time you say something?
Yes, bitch, because it's empowering to call you.
So that this isn't some sort of racial caricature, by the way. This isn't. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure that's Tiffany Haddish.
that's what.
I'm pretty sure that's Tiffany Haddish voicing that reindeer.
I don't know who that is. Who's that?
She's the latest, funniest black comedian.
Yeah, she's Black Lady
So
number.
in other words, a
27.
caricature of
Yeah.
herself who isn't
Yeah.
funny at all. I remember when black
Basically.
they used to be funny. Just so that you guys know, black women used to be funny. And included in those black women who used to be funny, this is going to sound insane to you guys, Whoopi Goldberg.
No,
I know.
that's actually
I mean,
very
have
fun.
you seen Sister Act
Mhm.
and Ghost?
Those aren't funny movies. Well, okay. Ghost isn't a funny movie. Sister Act is musical theater, and I hate musical theater. But her stand-up was great. Why Am I Straight? I'm Fontaine. Great stuff. Watch it.
Let's go over what we know. Santa and the board are all male and all white. They play golf, drink, smoke cigars, say things like, "Don't ever marry your mistress."
Just so you know, the women of the North Pole make fun of one of your dicks. Have fun wondering whose it is.
Do you want to know what the men of the North Pole make fun of with you, bitch? Yeah.
What I need to learn is how to bro out with these guys. You know, shoot the shit, do shots,
Bro
shoot
out.
shots of shit.
Chick's trying to.
She has ideas, but can she really be the face of Christmas?
The woman who doesn't understand the thing. This is so fucking constant and common. It makes me want to smash. When I stay at Gregory Rasputin's house, I make his dog bring me a dog toy when we start talking about certain stuff, so that I can smash myself in the fucking head with it out of frustration. This is one of those things that makes me want to smash my fucking head in. Women do this shit all the time. They don't understand the thing. They insert themselves into the thing, and then they insist that they've somehow earned the thing. But it's all Sweet D Reynolds. It's vapid, it's superficial, and it's really all about their greed and their gluttony. Thanks, we saw like 6 pissing scenes. I get the joke.
I'll be named successor, die trying.
I have an idea.
Merry Christmas, and to all a kick-ass night!
So, cancel HBO Max.
I never had it.
Also, was anyone else madly surprised that Sarah Silverman was the elf?
No.
Nope.
It's her thing. It's her thing. White people have something. I want to destroy it and take it for myself, pretending that it's for other people. That's Sarah's thing now. And I just want you guys to know there is hope. There is hope. I want you to see how many likes there are. How many likes are there?
2K.
Yeah. How many dislikes are there?
We'll never know, but you just have to look at the proportion of views.
But they turned off the comments.
Comments are
Oh,
dude, I'm going to find some screenshots because the comments are absolute fucking gold. They turned off the comments. So it's got over 40,000 dislikes.
Mm-hmm.
It's got over 40,000 dislikes. And stretch for me for a second. You're going to want to see these comments. I can't believe they turned off.
I definitely want to see them.
All right. Okay, so
everybody knows where I'm going to find the fucking comments.
Right.
There's only
Go
one
find
place
them.
I'm going to be able to go to find these comments.
Go find them. So,
I must know.
Poopy Boy, how are you doing?
I'm better. I'm better. I still feel like shit, literally.
Mhm.
But yeah, I'm doing better. I managed to have a light lunch and a light dinner, and I expect to be fully functional tomorrow
Yeah.
morning.
Well, I'm pulling for you. I wish I could be the Annie to the what's his name from Misery. But I promise I won't hobble you.
I can do without you breaking my ankles, though. I think it was Paul Sheldon, right? That was the writer, Paul Sheldon.
Paul,
why is my penguin facing north?
All right, I got a few comments. Let me just.
Canalis. Were you outside the bed?
I only watched that movie once. I can't watch it again. It's too fucking anxiety inducing for me. It's one of those movies I can watch twice. Sorry.
Oh, here we go. All right.
Yeah, I feel the same way about 1 Hour Photo.
It's one of those movies, man.
Oh my god, that movie fucked me up.
Yeah, it's one time, no more.
It just. I mean, I like Robin Williams serious shit, but 1 Hour Photo just really skeeved me off.
Okay, let's watch those comments.
Here are a few comments. Reindeer, you're telling me I can just check the early life section of their Elfpedia entries? Santa, I'm saying that when you're ready, you won't have to. I don't know. On this show, we're at like a 90% accuracy with the early life check. The elf cries out in pain as he strikes you. Got kicked out of 109 gumdrop houses, and it's always the reindeer's fault, huh? The elf is immunized against all dangers. One may call her a gift unwrapper, coal depositor, cookie stealer, toy destroyer. It all runs off her like milk off a candy cane. But call her an elf and you'll be astonished at how she recoils, how injured she is, how she suddenly shrinks back. Quote, I've been found out. Dude. What is it? There was one that was like, and then for no reason at all, they elected Rudolph Antler into power. Imagine elves so vile you have to make laws to keep Santa from criticizing them.
Rudolph Antler. I'll take that one.
How could Santa go down the brick chimney if it wasn't built until several years after Christmas? You really think Santa could have baked 6 million gingerbread cookies in just 5 years? All the comments were like that. All the fucking comments were like that.
What a time to be alive when the comments on a YouTube video are funnier than the video itself, like funnier than actual Hollywood writers.
Dude, what's really funny about it is that they just said elves. They never said it. They only talked about elves. That's all they talked about. So last year gave us Jogger. This year gives us Elf. Mm-hmm. You're going to see a lot more of that.
No, purring elves don't have that role to it.
I know. Well, they're separate analogies.
I know.
And this is Seth Rogen's tweet responding to this. This is vaguely coded anti-Semitism that has been flooding my timeline. Happy holidays. Here's a pro tip, Seth. Don't do the stuff they criticize you for if you want them to stop criticizing you.
I love the name Not a Fed Goy.
Did you know elves have been knocked off of at least 109 shelves? Somehow they always end up climbing back on and making rules about knocking them off. And they always display the same voracious elf-no-centrism that got them knocked off the shelf in the first place. Seth, you gave this to them. You gave it to them because you couldn't engage in any form of self-reflection or self-control. You gave it to them. Guess what? You're going to get elves from now on. We could take that somewhere. Maniac Man 2030 says, Sarah Silverman and Seth Rogen, yeah, it's going to be absolute garbage. Seth is a stereotypical dumbass stoner. I know stoners that are way smarter than Seth Rogen. He's just...
Like Joe Rogan?
Yeah. Yes. He's at least significantly more self-aware.
Mm-hmm. And his last name sounds really similar. There you go.
Use dissenter. Not sure if anything will be there, but knowing this is this trash fire, there should be. And elves equal women minorities. Oh no. Oh no, that's not who the elves represent. The elves represent those who cannot be named.
Winkety wonk.
Shut it down.
You may say the word elf sounds a little echoey.
They shut it down. For Christ's sakes, guys, have some self-awareness.
And everybody knows that elves wear really tiny hats.
I think they were wearing really tiny hats. All right. Let's see what Jez has going on here. Actually, we'll do the next. Are we doing the next one? Let me see. Okay, we'll do this one. Here we go.
Oh boy, which one did you pick?
I'm using the tweet that you linked to tease the topic. From Disclosed TV, just in, Twitter bans sharing images or videos of private individuals without their consent, just one day after former CTO Parag Agrawal was named CEO.
You mean Pajit Agrawal?
Close, Parag.
No, he's Pajit.
He's Pajit now?
Yep.
I just like how his name seems to be another guy's name, backwards. Wow.
My ear is getting a little. My ear is getting a little. What's the word? I gotta clean it out. I can feel it. Hindi people are viciously dedicated to their caste system. Don't believe any of the press about they got rid of it. They never got rid of it. They are the most classist people I've ever dealt with in my entire career. And I've dealt with them at the biggest corporations in the world. They are the most incompetent people, like the most casually incompetent people at those corporations, and the most viciously dedicated, like the most classist. They are like, their philosophy is kiss the boss's ass and demand that everyone your boss of kiss your ass. Like, that is absolutely a dominant social paradigm that I don't think is changing anytime soon. In fact, I think that the wealth influx that they got from being given American jobs is going to have made it worse. This guy is going to be terrible.
Yeah. And they still literally kill people if you're from like a different caste.
This is why I'm not on Twitter or in India.
Or throw acid in your face. The misuse of private media can affect everyone, but can have a disproportionate effect, here we go, on women, activists, dissidents, and members of minority communities. Right. How they sell you everything you don't want. How they sell you everything you don't want today.
It's the women.
Now, here's the question. Do you think that he's actually been calling the shots for a while and that Dorsey has been a figurehead so that this... Oh, my God.
What's your take on Dorsey stepping down? I'm really curious about it.
He's wanted out for a while. Somehow the opportunity to do so presented itself, and he took it. Because he's a pussy, Canales. He couldn't just quit. Like, if you have balls and you don't like your job, you quit right there. Fuck you guys, I'm out.
Well, I was thinking they finally found something, and instead of making a huge thing about it, they made him step down to save face.
If there's ever been anything to find on Dorsey, they already had it. And I guarantee, and I'm certain there are like 3 things that you could have on Dorsey, and one of them involves his constant trips to fucking Thailand. Meet Parag Agrawal, Twitter's new CEO. This is from NPR. Commie shithole. I worked for NPR for a minute. I worked in an all-female department, and all they did all day was socialize. You could do the work of their department with 2 or 3 people. But because it was a department run by women, they spent all day on the phone and chatting. That's all they did. They did not do any work.
Typical
When
women.
Unfortunately. I wish it weren't typical, but it is. When Jack Dorsey abruptly stepped down as Twitter, it wasn't abrupt, abruptly stepped down as Twitter CEO on Monday, he handed the reins to Parag Agrawal, a software engineer who has become one of Dorsey's closest allies in shaping the social media company's future. Do you think he actually knows how to engineer software, or do you think he, like 98% of other Hindi quote-unquote software engineers, just copy and paste shit code and gets the white guy to fix it for him?
I'm gonna go with option B.
Yeah.
I have never seen it be option A. I've only ever seen it be option B. That doesn't mean option A doesn't exist, but I've never seen it. Dorsey's trust in Agrawal as CEO. It's interesting because Vijaya Gandhi Gupta,
I think it's
the
Gupta.
lawyer, she's Indian too. Do you see a trend? Twitter is essentially owned by Indian oligarchs now. How do you think they're going to handle that?
The question is, are they better than Chinese oligarchs or worse? That's what we should be all wondering.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with better, but not by much.
I'd say that too. I'd take a caste system. I'd take caste system street shitters over the hive mind that are the Chi-Coms.
They're like the fucking arachnids from Starship Troopers.
Different direction. They're going in the same exact direction. They're all about fucking social credit scores. As a matter of fact, the first time I heard like a big corporate, like, C-suite guy talk about getting rid of cash, it was an Indian guy. They love being controlled. They love it. And they love controlling. I think that they're going exactly in the same direction as China. They're just less confident and more friendly. I'll be enough. Dorsey's trust in Agrawal as CEO is bone deep. You got you that good, huh, Jack? The outgoing chief told employees in an email on Monday, quote, "He's been my choice for some time given how deeply he understands the company and its needs," Dorsey wrote. That means he's been running the company the whole time. That means Agrawal has been the CEO while Jack wore the hat. Twitter insiders say Agrawal is a close confidant of Dorsey, who shares the co-founder's vision of a future in which Twitter runs on technology that gives users greater control. They're both enthusiasts of cryptocurrencies and the blockchain. I'm so sick of hearing the term blockchain. I've never met an Indian that can define the term blockchain to me. They said it. What they like to do in corporate environments is memorize the jargon and just repeat it ad fucking nauseum, and knowing that no one will ever question them. Maniac Man 2030 says, "Funny, it still means we can post his picture around since he's a public figure right now." And Indian guy, quote, "Please show Bob's and Vagine."
Bitch lasagna.
Yeah. Dude, they're so bad. Agrawal has been closely involved in related projects on Twitter. He has worked on efforts to let users send tips using Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, and recently hired the head of a new dedicated crypto team. That's because he wants Twitter coin. He also oversees the company's Blue Sky project, which aims to build decentralized social networking software on which any number of platforms could run. I mean, they're also working to use the blockchain to indelibly tie everything you tweet to you. That's what, just like when they want to get rid of cash so that they can track every fucking purchase, they want to make sure everything you say is indelibly tied to you. And they don't, in the United States, we have a right to anonymity. We actually do have that right here. It's just, it's limited. It's like, you don't have the right to anonymity if you publish a article under your own name in the newspaper, but you do have the right to publish anonymously. Still, some current and former employees told NPR they were surprised Agrawal was tapped for the role, given that its profile inside the company is lower than others in Twitter's executive ranks. He's also little known outside the company, in contrast to Dorsey, whose eccentric health habits. He told Wired magazine in 2020 that he eats just one meal a day and tries to spend 2 hours a day meditating. What a faggot. Beard length and Bitcoin obsession have fueled headlines for years. The 37-year-old Agrawal is a computer scientist who studied at the Indian Institute of Technology, which has got to be a degree mill, in Stanford University, which he got in by saying, "Yes, sir. Thank you, sir," before joining Twitter a decade ago. He worked on
I am an
advertising
Indian
products.
with lots of money. Please accept me into your school.
Johnny, five, Johnny. And the company's engineering architecture. In 2017, Dorsey named him Chief Technology Officer. So that's how long he's been running this, for probably 4 or 5 years. Hey, I gotta step away for a second. I will be right back. Just hang.
All right.
Thank you. Come again.
Thank you. Come again. So yeah, it's one.
How much do you bet that his parents set him up with some poor, scared girl?
Yeah, who's like 12 years old.
Yeah.
What was her name from The Simpsons? Manjula or something like that, right?
Yeah, Manjula or something like
Manjula.
that. Actually, I like Manjula. She's nice. She was of age for Apu.
Actually, I never understood all the hate that Apu got from the progressives. Well, I do now because I understand that progressives are insane. But Apu was never portrayed as a dumb, incapable guy. Like, he was always portrayed as smart and capable.
Yeah, and he was, and despite running the Quickie Mart, he's successful.
Yeah, and he has his own business. He's always presented as like a cultivated guy. But it's the thing about fucking prog. They exist only to hate.
Now it's just that one butthurt Pajit who was like, "I'm Pajit, and everyone made fun of me because they call me Apu," and I'm like, "I'm not Apu, I'm Pajit."
I wanna punch the guy who voiced over Apu in The Simpsons. That's a thing, by the way. That's what was his name? This fat ass who made the documentary "My Problem with Apu."
I don't know. It was like Haru.
Yeah, Harry Kondabolu.
He was a neat Pajit. Neat as an Neee. Yeah.
In 2030 says elites in India really are total assholes. They're Hollywood levels of insufferable. Yup. I did this Indian show, and this fucking lady brought her own piece of shit trash lav mic. And when I say she brought her own, I mean 5 minutes before she was supposed to go on stage, she brought it over to me and said, "I need to use this."
I need to use this, please.
It doesn't take
fix
that
my microphone.
up. It like on a good day you can get it set up in 20 minutes to a half hour, but there's shit you have to do with the whole system. You can't just in the middle of a show add a mic like that. You can't do it. There's stuff you have to do, especially not a lav mic. And she didn't understand that she can't just snap her fucking fingers and get what she wants when it comes to physics. I wanted to fucking punch this lady in the mouth so fucking bad, just to give her the experience of having been punched in the fucking mouth by a lowly stage technician. That cunt. Indian elites are among the worst fucking people in the world, and they're not going to change. They're not going to change. That's the way they're going to be. I mean, I know a way they can change, but moving on. In his own email to Twitter staff, Agrawal noted that when he joined the company, had fewer than 1,000 employees. "I've walked in your shoes. I've seen the ups and downs, the challenges and obstacles, the wins and the mistakes," he wrote. He worked on machine learning and other technical advances that have enabled Twitter to roll out new features and products more quickly, as it's tried to shake off a reputation for being slow to innovate. Agrawal has also championed an internal team of researchers investigating whether Twitter's algorithms are fair. What percentage of that internal team he champions do you think are Indians?
All of them.
All of them.
Close. It's going to be
Is it-
90% with the 10% being white guys meant to do their job for them when they fuck it up.
Do you know what this could also mean if there's a Pajit at the helm of Twitter? The DMs to the Twitter thoughts are going to be filled with Rajesh and Bhuwan saying, "Show Bob and Pajit, please."
Yeah. It's going to be funny because like the Indian dudes on Twitter are going to think they have, whether or not they do, they're going to think they have carte blanche. And I actually can see his Twitter not enforcing rules on them because they're afraid that he'll have a problem with that. That's kind of how corporations work. Oh, here we go. Parag has been behind every critical decision that helped turn this company around, Dorsey wrote. So like that almost seems like it's a tacit confession that Parag has been pulling the strings. If you remember the Joe Rogan interview that he did with Tim Pool, there were every other moment was a moment where it seemed like he was trying to figure out what he could say that would not get his boss mad at him.
Yeah, now that you mention it, the way he spoke, like carefully, like, yeah, it sounded like he wasn't in charge, really.
And like Vijaya was there as his minder. Vijaya was there to tattle on him to Parag because Parag wasn't going to lower himself to listening to the fucking podcast. That's what it seems like was going on. And I was trying to figure out, this kind of completes the loop for me. The handover comes at a critical moment for major social media programs, including Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. There's a lot of heat and a lot of friction in politics associated with being these social networks on which so much public conversation plays out, said Margaret O'Mara, a historian of Silicon Valley at the University of Washington. Oh, God, her shit must be awful.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Mark Zuckerberg that chick is going to be a high-paid, slightly less crazy 8-bit Becca for anybody who knows that internet lore.
I don't know.
Explain?
Insane chick who canonized herself League of Legends lore master or something like that. It's too deep to get into, man. And I don't remember all of the details. But have some fun looking up 8-bit Becca on the keyboard.
All right.
I shall.
Let's see. Mark Zuckerberg is looking to the metaverse, she said, referring to Facebook's recent pivot to building immersive virtual reality experiences in corporate rebranding as Meta. The Troons, if that works in any way, shape, or form, are going to want everybody forced to be in Meta so that they can have their avatars overlaid over their selves. You know that, right?
Yeah.
As soon as that works, the Troons are going to want everybody forced to be in it. Fantasy fulfillment. Perhaps Twitter is looking at, quote, what is the next gen social network going to be? Is it going to be more decentralized? Is it going to be more user controlled? She asked. It's up to Agrawal to answer these questions. I mean, the problem with social media is that it can't decide what market it wants, and it thinks it can have every market. And this is that, like, Greta Thunberg wasn't actually wrong when she criticized the fantasy of infinite growth. She just had no idea what the fuck she was talking about. The fantasy of infinite growth is asinine. And it is a constant. There are people that don't understand that infinite growth is a fantasy and nothing more. You'll never have 100% of any market, ever, ever. But corporates sink or swim by repeating the mantra that you can. That's one thing. Like, you guys know how statistics work, right? Generally speaking.
I have a big idea.
Do you know what a margin for error is, or a margin of error?
Vaguely.
It's like, you know, if you have a machine that assembles 1,000 widgets every day and it's got a margin for error of 20%, it means you can expect 200 of those widgets to be defective.
Right.
So it assembles 1,000, but you get 800 guaranteed. And then out of the remaining 200, you get what you get. And you can diminish a margin for error, but you can never get rid of a margin for error. There's always a margin for error. And people seem to have convinced themselves, especially in corporate America, that that's not true, probably because they never learned the concept. So they live in this fantasy of you can always have 100%. Dude, you rarely get 100% of anything. What's the last thing you drank?
Let me think. 7-Up.
I drank water
Was it in a bottle or a glass?
in my El Chavo del Ocho mug.
Fat man? All right, fuck the fat man. Do you think that you got 100% of that water?
No, because there's like a little bit left.
Exactly. There's condensation on the inside of the bottle or glass from what you were drinking. It stayed in the cup, and you're never getting it all out. You get it all out by rinsing it out in the sink. Do you understand what I'm saying here?
Mm-hmm.
Am I making there is almost no such thing as 100% efficacy. There's almost no such thing as 100% yield, and our industries have fallen into the fantasy that you can get 1,000%, which doesn't even exist. 900% of 1,000% doesn't exist. It's make believe. So the big problem that social media is having is that they refuse to allow themselves to be anything because they want to be everything. Ooh. That was good.
Mm-hmm. He who hoards lot squeezes none, as we say in Spanish. Which means the wider your grip, the weaker it is.
That's pretty good. All right. Speaking of the elves, not all elves. Not all elves. We have the the Jewish deplorable, Trump Jew, number 2. CNBC host Jim Cramer goes on psychotic rant calling for universal vaccine mandate enforced by the military. Oh, this will be fun.
So like in Austria, basically.
Have any of you guys ever watched a Mad Money episode?
No.
Is this a newer show, or is this the same show he's had for years?
Same show he's had for years, but I guess he must have changed channels.
I've definitely seen his stuff. Recently, no. Years ago, sure. What do you? Yeah, go ahead.
I just remember that he used to be a big thing, and then something happened to him, and then he kind of dropped off, and then he slowly came back.
Didn't he end up? Maybe I'm just conveniently manufacturing this idea, but didn't he end up with a crippling coke and alcohol addiction?
Maybe. Let me check.
Yeah, check, because I can't reliably say that he did, but that's pinging in my memory. It could just be because of the type of person he is, though.
All right, roll video.
Yeah, hang on. My hands are busy. They're not doing anything like that. Relax.
Lord knows.
Give this a little more gas here.
Lord knows what happened if you didn't partake. But back then, anyone who refused to get vaccinated would get ratted out immediately because we knew that person could hurt.
Are you proud of yourself for equating yourself to a rat, James?
What period in history is he referring to? Like the Nazi Germany?
We're gonna find out, maybe.
Yeah, I'm really curious now.
For people, the Commonweal was a Commonweal. Now we're engaged in a similar struggle with COVID, and Eisenhower would be aghast. We have immunocompromised people who are incubators for every variant to come, walking around lawfully
I'm not immunocompromised. I have a better immune system than you, faggot. I always have, by the way. I always have. Because I'm white trash and we have the superior immune system.
Yeah, we used to play outdoors.
Yeah.
Yeah, jump into puddles, play with dog shit.
I just have an overactive immune system that attacks my healthy cells, so.
Your immune system is so powerful, it even kills you.
Yep.
I mean, like, I was talking to Red Dragon the other day, and it's like, when we were raised, our parents were like, go play in the fucking swamp and leave us alone. Which, you know, did we get sick sometimes? Sure. And then after we got sick, we got healthy and had immunities. Resistances. Our immune system was used to being beaten up a little bit. I am not immunocompromised. You weak faggots who did not do what I did as a child, that is play in swamps, and I'm not exaggerating. That's what made you immunocompromised. Being afraid of getting dirty. Mommy will paddle my bottom if I get dirty.
lawfully unvaccinated? That's psychotic. We have companies that have tried hard to get people. That's psychotic. We have companies that have tried hard to get people vaccinated. Come, walking around lawfully unvaccinated?
Yeah, because we don't. That's correct, James. That's correct.
That's psychotic. We have companies that have tried hard to get people vaccinated and now backing down. We have governors who want to be president by grandstanding on a foolish states' right issue, the right to get sick and get other people sick. So it's time to admit that we have to go to war against COVID. Require vaccination universally. Have the military run it. If you don't want to get vaccinated, you better be ready to prove your conscientious objector status in court. And even then, you need to help in the war effort by staying home until we finally beat this thing.
No, I have a better idea, Jim. Anytime, any place, you and me. Anytime, man. Anytime, Jim. Anytime, just me and you. We'll sort it out.
Yeah.
Maniac Man 2030 says, I played in Forest. Good enough? Close enough.
Yeah. I played with dead birds and had baby cows suck on my fingers and I used to get chased by chickens.
I mean, you grew up in farm country, man.
Yeah.
I have more trust of women that grew up on farms than almost any other female demographic out there.
Yep, I don't trust city dwellers anymore. That's why I want to go live in the countryside.
I breathed cow shit.
You breathed it.
Yes.
Was this Jenkum? Were you doing Jenkum?
No, it's just for you city boys. The cows make so much poop that it sometimes fills the air and you get a good whiff of it and then you really know that, yes, you are in the country. And you smell the smelly smell of cow shit.
I actually used to go to a dairy farm for fun when I was a little kid because I lived in this town until I was in like 4th grade. That everybody got their milk from the same dairy farm. Like it wasn't go to the grocery store and get your milk. It was go to this dairy farm and get your milk. Fresh ice cream there. I adopted a cow there. It was great. I loved that town. I think one of the demarcations of my life going into crazy was not living in that town anymore.
Oh. But yes, I suggest if you want the best cure, the best immune practices, you go out in the country and take a good whiff of cow shit air.
Yeah. I mean, you got to human being, like, I'm not against urban living, like living in modernity, but you can't completely avoid the world that we live in, which is best represented by the wilderness. And you have to spend a significant amount of time in a regular relationship with it, which could be something as simple as growing up as a little kid playing in swamps. Maniac Man 2030 says authoritarianism totally won't bite us in the ass. Never has before. What you did with cows ain't anyone else's business except yours, Jez. That's funny. I know a funny story about that. That Star Wars girl grew up in a farm. That's why she loves to eat dirt. She's one of the farm girls I don't trust. I've lived in suburbs most of my life.
Now here's
as much as you can.
Now here's the thing. What is the difference between a farm person like me who smelled cow shit versus someone in the city who lived next to a factory and smelled and inhaled factory fumes?
Interaction with
nature
nature
of
is
the
organic.
fumes. Sorry, go ahead.
No worries, man.
I was gonna say that probably the fact that you're inhaling things that our ancestors have inhaled for centuries, like cow shit, and that's natural-ish for us, whereas factories not so much.
There's a difference between getting exposed to the biodiversity of your farm, whatever it may be, it's farm biodiversity, and the runoff of 80,000 gallons of ammonia a day. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Because you're not the factory thing isn't. It's not exposing you to other organisms, which is what about farm life that makes you healthier. It's exposing you to other chemicals, which usually aren't in those concentrations anywhere near good for you.
Right.
Yeah.
Did you want to see about what happened to Jim Cramer?
Oh, did something happen? We just played that. Is there a follow-up?
No. We're trying to figure out why.
Oh. Yeah. What do you got?
Well, jeez. Let's see.
Get out the catnip bee.
Controversies. Let's see. We have a Fox News Channel lawsuit. Admission of market manipulation.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. Performance of Kramer's investments, because he used to work for Goldman Sachs.
Oh, what a surprise.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone who worked for Goldman Sachs or Bear Stearns, don't trust them. Ever.
Yeah. He even said Kramer recommended investing in Bear Stearns, Merrill Lynch, Morgan Stanley, and Lehman Brothers before the stocks fell in
stay away
value.
from Lehman Brothers, too. Anybody involved with Lehman Brothers, stay away from them. Yeah. Stay away from anybody involved with Chase.
Mm-hmm.
Their corporate culture is the worst of it. It's everything that I've been warning about. Mm-hmm. I've known too many people that were involved with those companies, and they are all scum.
What else? Criticism of President Obama's policies. Drop the cord. He had a debate with Jon Stewart.
That's interesting.
Yeah, on March 12th, 2009, Kramer appeared on The Daily Show with Jon Stewart. Stewart reiterated earlier claims regarding the CNBC host's silly and/or embarrassing and/or stupid financial observations. What else? Let's see. The SEC subpoena of journalists in conjunction with its investigation of Gradient Analytics. And I think his most recent one was calling House Speaker Nancy Pelosi Crazy Nancy during an interview.
That's not that bad.
I mean, he's not wrong about that. It's interesting that he's fallen for the vaccine thing and apparently fails to understand this country enough to understand we don't do that shit here. I swear I heard something about him having some sort of addiction problem. All right, moving on.
Yeah.
CNN's Chris Cuomo has forfeited all legitimacy as a journalist. You guys hear about this? You know about this?
Nope.
I heard something of it, but
It looks like Fredo wanted to make some plays to get his brother's good favor. This is an opinion piece, clearly, but it's going to have the details, so we'll read it. CNN should fire primetime host Chris Cuomo, not just for its own ethical hygiene, but to uphold journalistic standards writ large and to avoid further eroding public trust in the American media.
calling CNN ethical.
Yeah. Documents recently released by New York Attorney General Letitia James lay bare Cuomo's transgressions. Let me make this abundantly clear to everybody listening to this fucking show. If you don't know this already, Letitia James is looking to be the next governor. She is absolutely making the play. They show that the CNN host flagrantly violated basic standards against journalistic conflicts of interest and then lied about his actions while helping his older brother, then New York Governor Andrew Cuomo, handle allegations of serious sexual misconduct. It was already known that the younger Cuomo helped, quote, advise his brother in some ways about how to handle the crisis that eventually drove the governor from office. The new documents show that Chris Cuomo traded on his status as a journalist to funnel information from other reporters and sources to the governor's chief of staff and actively participated in strategizing how to discredit or, more bluntly, smear the woman accusing the governor. So everybody's newsroom ladies' man was trying to victim blame and silence woman claiming sexual assault. Do we all fucking understand this?
Well.
When they signal their compliance that loudly, they're doing it so that you won't see how non-compliant they are.
Yeah. Oh. Be gone with you, Jew.
One such report notes that Chris Cuomo sent an email to his brother's advisors, quote, containing information about accuser Charlotte Bennett, including tweets from her time in college. He acquired those documents through his status as a journalist, but rather than reporting them to the public, he sent them to the governor's handlers. Yet under oath, he told investigators that, as described by the nonprofit journal The City, he did not reach out to sources to get information about the complainants or do opposition research in them. Give him max. Give him the max for perjury. That's how you get him. Just give him the max for perjury on that.
Oh, yeah. I endorse it.
I'm in.
And then maybe we'll see if Andrew is going to take Chris out to the lake, if you know what I mean.
You know, I was wondering today, like, how many times do you think Andrew and Chris got in a fucking knockdown, drag-out fight about which one of them is Ray Liotta?
I'm going to say at least once a week.
Ma, tell him I'm better looking, so I'm Ray. I'm the oldest. I'm Ray.
Hey, I'm Ray Liotta here. Hey, I'm not Ray Liotta. I'm Ray Liotta here. Forget about it. Get out of here.
You know they say forget about it to each other all the fucking time.
They're at best what Chaz Palminteri and Andrew Dice Clay.
Except both of those guys are, well, they do believe it at this point. Dice definitely believes it at this point, and he has for a very long time.
Is he even Italian?
No, he's Jewish. He might be part Italian, but his real name is like Andrew Goldberg or something like that.
To the Wikipedia I go.
Back when Jewish guys were allowed to be fucking funny.
Because I didn't know who the fuck that guy was until we all saw The Adventures of Farfalaine here, and it became an instant classic in Spain.
You were close, Midnight. His name is Andrew Clay Silverstein.
Oh, close enough. Same thing.
Yeah.
His debut comedy special and debut comedy album was like Led Zeppelin over here. It was enormous, and every kid loved it and got in trouble for quoting it at school. Changed my life. Changed my life. Oh my God, you can say this stuff? Mary, Mary, quite contrary. Trim that pussy, it's so damn hairy. Oh! I love Dice. Way funnier than both Cuomos combined. Depending on how definitive his... Oh, wait, hang on, sorry. That certainly doesn't square with his text message to the governor's top aide. I have a lead on the wedding girl, about a woman who said the governor tried to kiss her at a wedding. I hope they throw the... Like, Letitia James is a fucking snake, but I hope she bites him good. Depending on how definitive his denials were under oath, Chris Cuomo could face not just employment trouble, but legal problems too. I mean, this is the swamp going after itself. Letitia James, Chris Cuomo, and Andrew Cuomo are supposed to be fighting for the same masters, but she sees opportunity. It's a Sith. They're behaving like Sith. Kind of funny. Prosecutors, but the journalist ethical breaches are obvious. Even though Chris Cuomo did no reporting for CNN about his brother's scandal, it was an important national news story that merited a complete firewall between his journalistic job and his informal role advising his brother. That's true. This is all true. I have no complaint or disagreement about any of this stuff in this article. Even young reporters know this. 3 decades ago, the Louisiana Republican Party was regularly making national news in back-to-back humdingers of races for the U.S. Senate and for governor. I was managing editor of the centrist. Whoa, how old are you, bitch? Alternative Gambit New Orleans Weekly, while my father was the Republican National Committeeman for Louisiana. Oh, that explains why the article's good. We had a strict rule whereby I absolutely could not use my father as a source and could not, quote, advise my father on anything political, along with several other studiously observed safeguards against journalistic conflicts of interest. It doesn't seem to have occurred to Cuomo to take any such precautions. They never learned that. Cuomo learned to be a news entertainer. He learned to be a talking head, not a journalist. When I started getting into journalism, my high school journalism teachers taught it like it was a fucking religion. You were meant to behave like a monk, which is part of why I didn't totally pursue journalism. There are other reasons. This stuff is known, but not if you're like... Chris Cuomo is essentially an actor, and he was training to be an actor, not a journalist. I bet you a lot of these familiar with the matter sources are people like that violate that rule. My father was a behind-the-scenes guy, not a big newsmaker, and certainly not involved in any scandal. Because of Andrew Cuomo's prominence, Chris Cuomo should have been even more determined to set high firewalls than I was. Plenty of people in journalism have unavoidable familial conflicts of interest, but most, unlike Cuomo, successfully avoid using journalistic tools and status to help their relatives' relatives' political careers. Major journalist organizations owe it to their fellow tradesmen and to the public to uphold basic ethical norms. Otherwise, public trust in all real news withers, while dangerous conspiracy theories easily take root. There's no such thing as a dangerous conspiracy theory. There's no such thing as a dangerous idea. Anyone who says that needs a kick in the fucking teeth.
Not to mention, the only difference between a conspiracy theory and reality is about 12 months.
Yeah, about that. It's about 12 months after Alex Jones talks about it. CNN should recognize with abundant clarity that the newly released documents make Chris Cuomo utterly untenable as a legitimate professional purveyor of news. Yeah, he's got to go to jail, man. He's got to go to jail for the perjury. It's the only way they'll learn. Toss him in the hoosgow.
Mm-hmm.
You got to wonder, now they're both thinking nobody's on our side.
Mm-hmm.
You know what mafiosos do when they feel cornered and like nobody is on their side?
They go full top of the world, man.
They go full rat. That's when they start ratting. So I for one am looking forward to them ratting on everyone. I've been hoping for that this whole time. This just tells me they're getting backed further into the corner that's going to make them rat.
Well, let's
Got-
hope they rat before they get whacked.
Yeah. Red Dragon earlier today said that if either one of them goes to jail, they're getting whacked immediately. Because, the real mafiosos, they don't like the fake mafiosos drawing attention.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, this is myth-informed, MKE. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris traveled to Kenosha to visit career criminal Jacob Blake and his family. When the fuck did they do that? 6 people died, including an 8-year-old boy, and over 60 are injured following the Waukesha massacre. Biden's admin think it requires too many resources to visit the Waukesha families. Well, too many is any, so that's why they think that. We got another one from the Deuce, dropping a deuce right on Psaki's chest. No, I wouldn't.
During the situation in Waukesha closely, it has been revealed by prosecutors that the assailant swerved his truck side to side as part of an intentional act to run over as many people as possible. 6 people are dead. Some children remain hospitalized. Part of an intentional act.
Right about here, let's watch Jen Psaki's face while Deucey drops it. Shall we?
Yes, please.
An intentional act to run over as many people as possible. 6 people are dead. Some children remain hospitalized. Why hasn't the president visited the members of this Christmas parade attack?
Well, I would say first.
No reaction on her face. She's getting good at that.
As you saw the president convey last week, our hearts go out to this community, to the people in Waukesha, that we've been in touch, obviously, with officials there, and we're all watching as people are recovering. And this is such a difficult time of year for this to happen. It's a difficult anytime. Obviously, any president going to visit a community requires a lot of assets, requires taking their resources, and it's not something that I have a trip previewed at this point in time, but we remain in touch with local officials, and certainly our hearts are with the community.
During the situation.
And also, they weren't black. Let's get down to the fucking facts of the matter. They weren't black, and these assholes see no benefit to themselves from bombing with them.
Like Biden said, you ain't black.
Good point. Fucking Deucey, man. I hope he keeps his fiber up because he needs it. Dropping all those deuces. All right, let's move on. Okay, sure. Let's see. It's 1:30. All right. I'm gonna try and oh fuck. I'm gonna try and get through this. I don't know that I'm gonna read the whole article. Where is it? I gotta find it. Here it is. Great. 3 students killed, 6 others shot at Oxford High School. 15-year-old suspect in custody. Would you care to describe the suspect, sir?
Was he friendly? Did he like to jog, perhaps?
Let's find out. The Oakland County Sheriff's Office announced that they have a 15-year-old student in custody following an active shooting at Oxford High School. 3 students have been killed and 6 other people have been injured, said Oakland County Under Sheriff Mike McCabe during a news conference. One of the 6 individuals injured was a teacher. Authorities said the first 911 call was made at 12:51 p.m., and the 15-year-old sophomore was taken into custody within 5 minutes. A handgun was recovered from the site. You know who most often has the handguns when they commit crimes?
I bet it's 13% of a certain population.
I'm hearing some Jordans. A handgun was recovered from the suspect after multiple shots were fired. Officials say the suspect was working alone. Police did not say if there was a motive or if specific people were targeted. Although officials did not believe there were any other threats, multiple police, EMS, and SWAT are at the scene doing another search through the school. Students are being evacuated by buses and blah, 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 blah. Yeah, Coulter's Law. I'm calling it right now. Coulter's Law. It's 100% accurate. Coulter's Law.
Mm-hmm. His name probably starts with a D or a Ja.
Yeah. And he probably reads at a 2nd grade level. Just like the rest of them.
He probably likes purple drink with his fried chicken.
Yeah. Fucking Jez-Teen 88 over here. All right. Oh, here we go. All right. Maybe we're gonna do a white pill, and then we're gonna speculate. This is Michael P. Sanger on Twitter. I don't know who that is. I'm sure I've seen his stuff before. DeSantis. Well, let's play it. Let's hear it from Florida man's mouth.
And let me just say, in Florida, we will not let them lock you down. We will not let them take your jobs. We will not let them harm your businesses. We will not let them close your schools. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. The lockdowns didn't stop COVID. Forced masking, they said last year, would end the pandemic if 80% wore masks. Many more than that were wearing masks, and it hasn't worked. They said you could get COVID off surfaces, which isn't true. They've not been honest about the origins of the virus, and they haven't been forthright about natural immunity. And with these travel restrictions, I was probably the first governor in January of 2020 to call for travel restrictions from China. I supported President Trump when he did that. But we have to take a step back and acknowledge that those travel restrictions just didn't work. The virus had already spread. And so whatever this variant is, the fact that you identify some in Southern Africa, that does not mean that it's not in any corner of the globe. It's an airborne respiratory virus. So I think those restrictions are not going to work. They haven't worked in the past. And clearly, to even be entertaining the idea of doing destructive, disastrous policies like lockdowns, I mean, honestly, I'm not surprised because I think some people are just wired for this. But it is not going to happen in the state of Florida. You can take that to the bank. And let me just...
Fuck yeah, Ron.
Hell yeah. Hell
I
yeah,
wish
Ron.
there was a human way of traveling to Florida and just staying there.
Yeah. The other day I went into a liquor and tobacco store to buy some liquor and tobacco.
Obviously.
There was a sign on the door that had a mask on it, and then it had a red circle with a strike through it. And it said, "Masks are not required in our store. Welcome to," and then the name of my state. And I went in that store and I told the lady, "I like the sign on your door." And she said, "I love the sign on my door."
Yeah, I love Americans.
Click, clack, motherfucker. We're ready where I am. Let's get it going.
Well, maybe I'll be able to sneak through the border and join the army as a brigadista, like you Americans did here and during the Civil War. It's the least we can do, repay the favor.
Do you guys think that they're going to do a lockdown over Christmas?
I have no idea, and I hope to God they don't.
Okay, gun to your head, you have to pick. Are they going to lock down over Christmas?
I don't think so.
No? I think they're test marketing it, but they're going to fail.
I think people are getting done with COVID. Even here, I mean, I've met quite a few vaccine, what's the word? Like a vaccine repentants, so to speak, people who regret having the vaccine because they were like, "Oh, I still have to wear a mask." They're talking about like closing down restoration, like at 12 ends. What the fuck? What was the point then? Because keep in mind, over 80% of people in Basque Country have been vaccinated and didn't do shit.
Yeah, it's not ever gonna do shit.
Yeah. Also here, I mean, we have some of the worst COVID rates in the world, and like today I was on the train and I guess the face shields are optional now. Cause some people either had them like on top of their heads just for like security, and then others just didn't have any. Still
I mean,
have to
almost-
double mask though, but
Ugh. Most people aren't even doing it right. Like they wear, like when you're wearing it on your chin, it's not doing anything.
Well, it's like a crucifix, you know. You wear it because you hope the gods of COVID won't make you pay for your transgression. Maybe if I pop my nose a bit, maybe they won't get too mad at me.
I mean, I've
It's-
seen people walk on the street with like the mask on the chin, but on like public transport, they're just like only wearing like the double masks.
Have you ever seen someone do you know how Catholics, they cross themselves, they touch their forehead, their what is it, their sternum,
Yep.
their left shoulder.
Testicles, spectacles, wallet, and a watch.
Have you ever seen someone do a real fucking half-assed crossing of themselves?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's the half-assed ritual. They're
Mhm.
just doing it so that the attention is drawn to the people refusing to do the ritual entirely, not them for failing to do it right. That's all. All right, I'm skipping around a little bit. This is relevant. Biden says no new lockdowns if everyone wears a mask and gets vaccinated. You know what that means, right?
Yep.
Everyone isn't going to wear a mask and get vaccinated. So that means new lockdowns are coming, in his head anyway. He knows what he's doing. I mean, as far as that's concerned, he knows what that means. Everyone in his cabinet knows what that means too.
No, it's like, if we lock down, to get more pudding.
Pretty much. If I read from this teleprompter, do I get more oatmeal? Yep.
Do I get more applesauce? If I tell them that we can roll this curve in like another week, can I get the cinnamon applesauce, Jill or Kamala?
Damn. Let's see. Oh, here we go. I'm kind of going through these a little quickly because we're running out of road here.
Mm-hmm.
Germany's next leader wants vaccine mandate by March.
Awesome. That's fucking awesome.
As goeth Europe, so goes the rest of the EU. So if it's not going to be for Germany, it's going to be for the entire EU that they want this. They might lead the charge and say, okay, now it's mandatory in Germany. But they want this for the entire EU. And you know that if they want it for the entire EU, they want it for the US as well.
Gotta love the old country for playing the long game.
Sort of.
Yeah.
Kind of. There we go. Disclosed TV. We got a lot from Disclosed TV.
Yep.
Does Disclosed.tv have like a show?
I have no idea. I think maybe I just see it pop up on my feed and I'm like, oh, that's interesting. And then I just like it and save it for the next show.
Just in, Greece enacts compulsory vaccination against COVID-19 for those aged 60 and older. So now we have compulsory vaccines in Greece.
Yep. Your Yaya's gonna get the jab whether she likes it or not.
Oh, if she tells me she doesn't want to get it, I'll make sure she doesn't. I'm not going to stop someone from doing something they want to do, but if anyone doesn't want to do it, they have my things that go boom. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. says 49-year-old Texas man who recovered from COVID but was required to be fully vaccinated against virus before being approved for a life-saving lung transplant died when he developed a pulmonary embolism and heart issues after his second Moderna vaccine. Gee, I wonder how that happened. I'm at a point where I'm not even interested in going to any doctor of any kind for any reason anymore. Fuck it, I'll deal with it myself.
Yep, same here. It's not like I feel safe in a hospital anymore.
Yeah. My thing is, like, I really need a doctor, but I'm taking my chances at the little clinics now.
I mean, those are doctors.
Yeah.
Oh. It's Mrs. Ed over here. Look at the pout on this chick's face. There's got to be a joke in there somewhere. What the fuck? Why can't I? Oh, what are you doing? What? Sorry, I got to fix this. There we go. No, still can't do it. Oh, we'll do it.
And
like
importantly, because I know this is a question many Aucklanders have.
That's too quiet. Sorry, guys. I got to fix this. There we go. All right, I fixed it. Mostly.
And importantly, because I know this is a question many Aucklanders have, you can now see family and friends again in their homes and use the bathroom inside. Luxury.
This chick is as is competent in government as an armorer on an Alec Baldwin set. Only she has a higher body count. Oh, okay, sure. This is Bell B, whoever the fuck that is. This can't be real, right? My son got his second dose today. He put up a screaming fight over it because his father brainwashed him. But it's over. And Santa will bring him presents, and not just you gotta be fucking kidding me, this cunt. Welcome to woman. Santa did the trick. She used Santa Claus to get her son to agree to be a genetic experiment. He's also now allowed to go see grandma too. Sadly, he is such a little drama queen and has been crying for hours like a baby in his room, screaming about a big headache. Whatever, it's done.
I bet it's a brain clot. A blood clot in his brain.
All this cunt cares about is other people patting her on the head and telling her she's good. And she will sacrifice her own children to it. Do you understand the breadth and depth of a woman's gluttony and how much she will sell out for a shallow ping on it? Everything and everything.
Yeah. I swear to God, when I become a mom and I meet a bitch like that, I am decking her. I am taking her the fuck out and adopting her poor child.
GoFundMe for Jez's legal defense fund.
Their child will be honored to be a Canales.
Mm-hmm.
Grow up like a man. Grow up with a set of balls.
Yes.
All right, Cassie. Let's see what you have to say. Billy Boy's little COVID vaccination scam is backfiring on him. Now people are questioning all vaccines. Oh, this is interesting. All right, let's see what this has to say. Which, by the way, I've started questioning all vaccines.
This was an interesting case test of people's trust in their politicians or their health system. And,
why would you ever trust a politician? Don't ever trust a politician. They chose to be a politician instead of have a real job.
Statistically, we didn't do as well as I would have expected. In fact, I'm cited as some, mastermind of some evil plot in many, many cases. So, no, I didn't expect any of that. In some ways, the politicization of, taking vaccines and helping protect other people, you could almost say that's a step backwards. I hope vaccine acceptance for other diseases like measles is not reduced by this. But, a lot of people jumped in and took the vaccines, but a meaningful minority in most countries were led down a path of believing that not only were there rare side effects, but that the vaccine wasn't properly tested or was part of some evil conspiracy.
Yeah, because of you. I don't trust Bill Gates, and I'd love it if 4chan called in a Russian airstrike on him. What, did I say that? I don't know what you're talking about. So I've been seeing this next thing, and this is gonna be our last thing for the night. I've been seeing this next thing. Where is it? And that's not it. That's oh fuck. I kind of want to talk about that. Fuck. All right. We can talk about that later. I've been seeing this next thing crop up its head above the surface for like about a week. So it's got legs. We just don't know how long they are. But I've been calling it from the start. Wayne Allen Root predicts Dems will try to install Hillary Clinton as president. Reports have been surfacing for weeks that there's tension boiling between Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. I've seen that myself. And one top conservative columnist is predicting the Democrats may be hatching a plan for Hillary Clinton to take over as Biden is cratering. In a column for Town Hall titled "Get Ready for President Hillary Clinton," Wayne Allen Root said he believes Democrats could be considering a plan that would make Hillary Clinton be the president. Okay, they better fucking tell me what the plan is here. Because I've been thinking that they were going to 25 Biden and put Kamala in charge. But I know that Kamala's a bit of a loose cannon in that she thinks she should be queen of empress of the universe, much like Hillary Clinton. But that means she's less likely to obey Clinton and Obama's orders and Soros and Schwab's orders, which is, I think, the root of the tension between her and the Biden camp. She's doing what she wants to do, whatever that is. And they're like, all right, we may have to get rid of this bitch. Democrats, i.e. the party of radical, insane, and hateful socialists, Marxists, and communists, are getting ready to install Hillary Clinton as president of the United States. You might ask, how will they do it? Yes, I've been asking since I saw this headline. The answer is simple. Biden is finished. He served his useful purpose. He provided a white, experienced, grandfatherly, supposedly moderate-faced, yeah, I know, fucking diddling grandfatherly. He absolutely fucked his daughter, and probably his sons and his dead daughter, too. That's why Niala killed herself. She was trying to eat babies. Supposedly moderate-faced to serve at the top of the presidential ticket. The mail-in ballot fraud got the Democrats 90% of the way home in rigging and stealing the 2020 election. And Biden's white moderate grandfather routine did the rest. He fooled just enough clueless and naive voters in a handful of battleground states to finish the job. Not exactly, but I'll let it go. But the jig is up. Biden's approval is now in the unimaginable 30% range. That means he has no one left on his side but friends, family, campaign aides, Democratic Kool-Aid drinkers, welfare addicts, and migrants. He continued. Everyone with a brain... Oh, come on, get to the point. Everyone with a brain who isn't blind, deaf, or really dumb now understands Biden is brain dead. It's amazing how many people are like all three of those. It's hard to miss the daily decline in Biden's ability to think and communicate. Democratic puppet masters have no choice anymore but to throw Grandpa from the train. That would be a funny movie.
Yeah.
Throw Mama from the train, throw Grandpa from the train.
Mm-hmm.
Biden's days are numbered before he will be forced to step down after admitting he can't do the job anymore due to rapidly advancing dementia. I know they want to do it at the point to where whoever they replace him with gets 10 years. That's what they want. Can they make it there? I don't know. Do they have an alternative? I don't know. Biden is as good as gone. At this point, it's only a matter of when. That would make VP Kamala Harris president. We all know that's not going to happen. I believe she is the most deeply flawed, despised, and unpopular vice president in the history of America. I agree with that.
Mm.
And maybe in the history of the world, too. I don't know about that. Her 28% approval rating makes Biden seem popular. Harris's problem is no one likes her. Not men, not women, not white, nor black people. She's a talentless, empty suit with an evil, insane laugh who allegedly screwed her way to the top, e.g. her involvement with married Willie Brown Jr. Normally, women support Democrats by a wide margin, not this time. Women hate talentless women who screw their way to the top. No, they don't. They love them as long as they think they can do it too. So Democrats have a big problem. Everyone hates Harris. Harris has to go too. Now, this is what I'm trying to figure out. Root rounded out his piece with a very bold prediction. Here it is. Here's my crystal ball. Democrats will demand Harris's resignation. She'll cite personal reasons or family issues. Then corrupt Democrat billionaire donors will give her a $25 million mansion to retire in. You'll never hear from Harris again. She can't shut her fucking mouth. I doubt that. They'll have to whack her. She won't go along quietly. Next, they'll name Hillary Clinton vice president. Very quickly after that, they'll start planting nonstop stories in the media claiming Biden's aides see him in dramatic mental decline. I mean, if they knock Harris out, we know that the plan's in motion. You know what the exact next steps are going to be if Harris gets taken out of the VP seat.
Yep.
And I've heard talks about her being replaced with Buttigieg.
Mm-hmm. I did have a link in there about that. Or that they were going to put them together.
Oh, God. Oh, my God.
It's the Columbia link.
I got it right here. They're like that Amway salesperson couple where the dude is absolutely gay and the woman has like a lich's soul. And you can tell that they just go through life trying to suck the life out of everyone they can get their claws into, which is why they sell Amway.
Mm-hmm.
Kamala Harris and Pete Buttigieg could agree to run together in 2024 if Biden does not run again, giving the Democratic Party a very strong ticket that would seem like a natural continuation of Biden's first term. I don't know. Buttigieg's not getting into bed with Harris. That's not happening. So, I mean, I'm pretty sure that Biden's not finishing this term. It's just a question of, is it Kamala or someone else? I guess now we have our answer. I guess now we have our metric. If they start making moves to clear the VP seat, we know that the go button has been hit. But it's like a year before they can actually clear the president's seat and get the 10 years that they want. Huh. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is tonight's episode of Awful Goodness. Canales, what are you up to this week?
Well, I'm up to recovering from my stomach flu and going back to work on SOS Volume 3 and probably Necromancer Volume 2 as well.
Very nice. Very nice. How about you, Condor?
Well, aside from being a slave to the Mew Jews,
The Shabbos Goy to 6 Mew Jews?
yeah, well, 7 if you count the Whore Mother. I have to prepare their new shit box because I got them a new shit box today.
That's good. Is it bigger than the old one?
Yes, and the walls are higher so they don't kick out all the litter. It also has so what it is like these two little tubs stacked together, and in the middle there's like a filter. And what you do is when the cat's done doing their business, you pour the one tub into the filter over the other tub, and it fills, and you can get rid of the waste that way while not wasting any of the litter.
There are 3 reasons I don't have a cat right now. Reason number 1, I really want a dog, not a cat. I mean, I like cats, but I really do want a dog. Reason number 2, my life is still too much on the cusp of impending chaos for me to feel right about having an innocent animal rely on me. Like, I'd feel really
Mhm.
fucking bad if I had to give if I get an animal, I'm not giving the animal away. I had to give my cat away when I was a teenager. And I mean, it was just to my mother, who I didn't live with, who I didn't see for my entire teenage years. But it still felt wrong. And I still feel guilt over that because I know he missed me because that cat and I were really fucking close. And 3, the litter box, man. The fucking litter box. But I
Mhm.
do kind of like, if there was no such thing as a dog, I'd want a cat. I'm going to be. I think this week I'm transitioning. I'm not going to be roving around in the Tech Force van so much anymore for the rest of the season. I'm going to be doing in-shop repairs, which I'm fine with. I mean, I like rolling around in the Tech Force van. It's great, but I want to learn the skills that I have to learn to do these repairs. So it's like, all right, I give that up because I'm already good at all that stuff, and now I'll get good at new stuff. And that's it. Let's see. Today is Tuesday.
December 1st for us.
Oh man, I still have a few hours left. Of November. We'll do a show same time, same channel on Thursday, and maybe Saturday afternoon, if you guys are into it, we could watch that Weather Underground documentary.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, sure.
I don't know if I'll be around because it's like, well, I was gonna say it's the day in which Mom and I have dinner out, but since they imposed COVID passport here, I don't know if that's gonna be possible.
I really disapprove of you prioritizing your family over us.
Yeah, I know. I'm a piece of shit.
We could do it Friday night. We could try for like a late Friday night primetime type situation. What do you think?
Yeah, that's doable.
Yeah.
Late Friday night for us is like really fucking late Friday night for you, though. It's like it's essentially late Friday night for us.
Yeah. I mean, what time did you guys have in mind?
I was thinking maybe like later, like 8 o'clock, but we could do 6 as well.
I think 7 is fine. If you
Well,
guys,
I got work at 6, so I'd prefer 7.
7? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Why don't we think about doing the Weather Underground documentary? Let me see. Do I still have that open? I might. See, this is what I do. I open all like, I'm like, oh, I want to look at that later. Oh, I want to look at that later. Oh, I want to look at that later. And then I have like 7 windows with 30 fucking tabs of shit that I want to look in later that are open on my computer for a week. And then I regret it because that's stupid. But I got to look. I want to look later. Don't you understand? So it's an hour and a half. We won't stop it. We'll just let it roll. We'll talk over it where we have to. I wish that I could fucking do sidechain compression so that when we talk, it would duck the audio. But whatever. Man. Maybe I'll figure out if I can do... Maybe I'll find some way to figure out if I can do sidechain compression. I mean, if I had a bunch of gear, I could do it. Through streaming. None of this means anything to you guys. I apologize.
Yeah.
Thank you, Maniac Man 2030 and Omega Arts for coming by. Thank you, everybody listening on the replay. Like and subscribe. Don't forget to support Jez. She works very hard, and she's got 7 Mewtwo's sucking all her milk.
Yeah.
www.buymeacoffee.com/Jezbury.
They're sucking my life force.
All right. Everybody have a nice night.
Bye.